So, chemistry is the study of matter and change. And when we're changing, sometimes we're just putting two things together while they maintain their identity and they maintain their chemical composition. But very often they're changing from one chemical to another. That's what we call a chemical reaction. So, we're going to be looking at this transformations a lot, those chemical reactions. Think about bonds being broken, but also think about other ways that things can change with different sorts of energies being added or removed. So a big difference here is the idea of a physical change versus a chemical change. In a physical change, the substance we start with or substances and the substance or substances we end with are still the same. We are not changing the identity or chemical composition of a substance, so we're not breaking any bonds. Most of the time, we're breaking intermolecular or interparticle attractions. Sometimes we'll call those intermolecular forces, and we'll spend a lot of time looking at those as well. But this is what's happening when we're changing phase or state, when we're just putting two things together in a mixture. This sometimes is reversible, sometimes it's not. We can melt ice and then freeze it again. We can mix marbles and then unmix them, but we can't unchop wood or unshred paper. So the reversibility is not the definition. The idea is, have we changed the composition? A physical change can be represented by a reaction, but it is not, by an equation, but it's not a true chemical reaction. When we make a mixture, we would want to remember that we haven't changed the identities. So the formulas at the beginning and at the end would be the same. And we could do that with like solid H2O going to liquid H2O. What we're focusing here a little bit more on is chemical changes. Rather than chopping wood, we're burning it, or we could burn paper. Food rotting, or even food being cooked. Chemical reactions like mixing baking soda and vinegar. Explosions like fireworks. We break some chemical bonds, we make some chemical bonds, and we end with a substance that has a different chemical formula and composition from what we started with. It could include the production of heat or light, bubbling, and the formation of a gas, the formation of a solid out of gases and liquids or out of aqueous solutions called a precipitate, or a color change. But we know that mixing things like food coloring could change colors. We know that boiling water could form a gas. So we're really looking at the definition here. Did we make a new substance? Chemical changes are also called chemical reactions. And when we have those, we create an equation that we really want to have balanced, and they can look and be treated in different ways to give us different information.